Okay. Now, in last class, we have done Gauss's theorem. So today we will do applications of Gauss's theorem. Yes, to find electric intensity at a point due to a infinitely long or long line charge. And number second is intensity due to a thin sheet of charge. And third one is electric intensity due to a hollow spherical shell, hollow spherical conducting shell. Now, as we know that if this is surface, its area is how much? ds. So area vector will be taken as ds vector. If intensity is passing in this way, electric field is making an angle 90 degree. So then phi is equal to how much? E dot ds is equal to E ds cos theta. Here theta is equal to how much? Theta is equal to 90 degree. So therefore this one will be how much? 0. Electric flux will be 0. Now, if surface is, say this one is ds. So ds vector will be normal to the surface, and intensity or electric field also normal to the surface. So then these two are what? In same direction, parallel. So then phi is equal to E ds again, that is equal to E ds cos theta. But here theta is equal to how much? 0 degree. So therefore in this case this will be E ds. Instead of ds, sometimes we are taking what? dA also. Now the first application, intensity, electric intensity at a point near a line charge. This line charge is infinitely long line charge or long simply line charge, you can say. For this we'll consider a line charge. Say it is charged with positively charged. Yes. And its linear charge density is how much? Say it is lambda. Linear charge density is lambda. Now we have to find out the intensity at point P. Point P. The distance of P from the line charge is, say it is R. Then direction of intensity will be this one. Now we'll draw or imagine a Gaussian surface passing through this point. Due to line charge, Gaussian surface will be cylindrical. Gaussian surface will be cylindrical. Gaussian surface will be cylindrical. Then radius of the cylindrical surface is what? Small r. And say length of this we are taking small l. Length of the Gaussian surface, Gaussian cylindrical surface is l. Now These two are closed flat surfaces. Here the ds vector is normal to the surface and electric intensity will be in this direction. So therefore they are perpendicular. Here also ds vector intensity is in this way. So therefore what happened? Again 90 degree. So then electric intensity on the flat surfaces will be equal to what? Phi is equal to E ds, that is equal to E ds cos 90. So here 2 will write because 2 flat surfaces. So that is equal to how much? 0. Only electric intensity will be through the curved surface of the cylinder. Here and here electric flux is 0. Only the curved surface. Yes. Now total electric flux through the Gaussian surface or Gaussian curved cylindrical surface, that is phi is equal to how much? That is E dot ds. In this case theta is equal to 0 degree. ds is in this direction and E is, so then it will be equal to how much? E ds cos 0 degree, that is equal to E ds only. That is equal to E ds only. Okay. Now as I told, that is total electric flux. So total electric flux means we will integrate it. Is it? Intensity is everywhere same. So this will be how much? Total curved surface area. This is now total curved surface area, that is equal to total curved surface area is 2 pi r L, that is equal to 2 pi r L. Now next part is total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Say it is Q is equal to how much? Lambda into L, because charge density equal to lambda equal to Q by L. So Q equal to lambda by L. Now by Gauss's theorem, total electric flux equal to 1 by epsilon naught into the net charge enclosed by the surface. Net charge enclosed by the surface, that is this phi equal to already we have done, that is E into 2 pi r L is equal to 1 by epsilon naught into lambda by L. So therefore E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into L cancel, so lambda by r. Again I am doing this one. Because these are very important. These are long derivations, okay, and you have to know about this properly. Again I am doing. This one on the flat surfaces. On the flat surfaces, electric flux will be 0. Only electric flux will be through the curved surface. Okay. So total electric flux through the curved surface, phi is equal to integration E ds. Is it? That is equal to E ds cos theta. On the curved surface, theta is equal to how much? 0. ds and E vector both are in same direction. So therefore, this one will be phi is equal to E ds. That is, because cos 0 degree 1, so E ds. This is total curved surface area, E ds. This one is total curved surface area, E ds. That is equal to E into 2 pi r L. This one I am writing equation 1. Now, by Gauss's theorem we know, that is total electric flux passing through a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught time the total charge enclosed by the surface. So therefore, Q is equal to total charge equal to lambda into L, because lambda is linear charge density, lambda equal to Q by L. Okay, so therefore phi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught into lambda into L. Now these two terms we can equalize. This is say equation number 2. Therefore 2 pi RL into 2 pi RL equal to 1 by epsilon naught lambda L. So therefore electric intensity E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into lambda by R. This is the magnitude of electric intensity. Now in vector form, E vector is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into lambda by R into the unit vector along the direction of R or E. So this is the vector form. Now number 2 is electric intensity due to an infinitely thin sheet of charge. A simply thin sheet of charge. Here sheet of charge means the surface is made by the charges only. It means charges making a thin wall, thin surface. So in this case, we'll consider a thin sheet of charge, and the surface charge density is say sigma coulomb per meter square, sigma coulomb per meter square.